Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our board meeting for the commissioners for April the 16th. We are in person and also broadcasting via Microsoft Town Hall, as well as on BCTV. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll recognize my executive assistant, Veronica Lepore, to read the public comment notice.
Good morning. Thank you. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much. Are there any additions or corrections for the April 9th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Do we have any public comment on specific agenda items? There's none online, none in person. We'll move right into our agenda. The first item, we have actually two presentations, but the first one is from our Berks County Housing Authority, and we'll recognize the CEO of BCHA, Gwen Becker. Gwen? Lynn, you want to make sure the mic's on, please? Yep.
There you go.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. So good morning and thank you for the invite here today. Berks County Housing Authority, and I'm going to refer to it as BCHA, administers funds received through HUD on behalf of the County of Berks and distributes them in the form of housing choice vouchers and subsidized public housing units to eligible families and individuals. BCHA also manages other programs, including the Northampton County Housing Authority. In order to cast the vision of where we're headed, allow me to briefly overview what the primary programs are, which include the housing choice vouchers, the public housing, property management, and our relationship to Berks County Housing Opportunities, our nonprofit housing development corporation. A housing choice voucher allows participating households to rent housing that meets their needs from private landlords. An applicant is chosen through the wait list, vetted, and provided a voucher. There's a time frame by which to find housing and a landlord willing to work with the program. As of March 2026, there are 398 families and individuals that are being supported through the General Purpose Voucher Program here in Berks. Several years ago, Berks County Housing Authority applied for and was awarded a total of 25 VASH vouchers specifically to support our veteran population. We work closely with the VA to ensure every veteran in need of financial housing support within our service area is provided the opportunity to secure stable housing and access to much needed services. We are exploring currently project-based voucher opportunities and mortgage assistance with our vouchers. Project-based vouchers are assigned to a particular unit, not necessarily a tenant. And if the tenant vacates that unit, the voucher remains with the unit for the next eligible person or family. Special purpose vouchers may also be used in the form of mortgage assistance to make owning a home more affordable. We're currently building capacity to request HUD's permission to administer those mortgage assistance vouchers. The challenges to administering the entire voucher program are often financially based. HUD determines each year how much money will be allocated to support this program. The allocation doesn't always keep pace with the rise of fair market rents. And for example, in 2026, the fair market rents in Berks County rose approximately $175 per month per unit size. We are not guaranteed to be funded in a way that will keep pace with the rent increases. This could result in less new families receiving voucher support. This is often why wait lists can grow stagnant, and BCHA is always exploring new funding streams to increase the ability to provide voucher adjacent support. Next, BCHA manages all public housing properties on behalf of HUD in the county. The first two communities here in this county were built in 1978 in Boyertown. Some of you may remember Richard Delp, who led that. Subsequently, additional communities were built over the next decade, and the final community completed in the late 1980s. The fact is, there's currently a moratorium on any new public housing being built through HUD. The other fact is, public housing units are an asset for our community. And the fact is, HUD holds the deeds to the property, and BCHA manages the property on behalf of the federal government as a housing benefit for the citizens of Berks County. The public housing program consists of 9 developments comprising 209 units. HUD considers BCHA a small housing authority defined by the number of public housing units we have. Anything under 250 is considered small, anything over is considered large. So, for example, the Reading Housing Authority would be considered for HUD's purposes a large housing authority. Our communities range from apartment buildings to townhouses and duplex units. They're located in Boyertown, Birdsboro, Temple, Warners, Womelsdorf, Sinking Spring, Exeter, and Fleetwood. The townhouse and duplex communities are designated mainly for families and individuals who may only need affordable housing support for a season of their lives. The goal is to support those who can move in, move up, and move out, therefore allowing others in need of housing support to have an opportunity. We are aware that there are those in our community where that model may never be attainable. Therefore, we offer units designated to elderly and or disabled tenants. We have over 50 years of being sympathetic landlords, assisting people with various housing needs. I will refer back to the future of public housing shortly. The last, second to last one I want to highlight is our property management portfolio. We currently own and manage 3 mobility accessible homes in Berks County under what we call Norman Commons. We also manage Tarsus, which is a 33-unit development of 1-bedroom apartments for seniors over the age of 62 located in Fleetwood. And we are the sole property managers of Northampton County Housing Authority that administers approximately 600 vouchers on behalf of Northampton County, 17 VASH vouchers, and they have a portfolio of 106 elderly disabled units, along with owning an additional PHFA apartment building in Bethlehem. Finally, I'd like to mention Berks Housing Opportunities, or BHO, and that is our nonprofit development corporation. The mission of BHO is to preserve, support, and create affordable housing for the county, as well as advocate the type of housing needed to support the workforce and to low, moderate individuals and family income. BCHA is the sole member of BHO Development Corp. and who currently owns 6 scattered site, 3-bedroom, fully accessible homes throughout the county. BHO is exploring new projects and grants to support new construction, sustaining current housing stock with much needed upgrades, and repurposing buildings as identified for low to moderate home income home ownership. Let's talk about the future of BCHA. As I mentioned, the public housing units we manage are currently owned by HUD. HUD allocates capital funding to maintain the properties. And there are many challenges as the buildings age, and funding allocations may not always keep pace with the needs and regulations that accompany federal funding. The federal government has created a path in the form of a program called Rental Assistance Demonstration, or RAD. And you will know with HUD, we have a cheat sheet of over 300 acronyms. So I will try to keep up here. This will allow the Housing Authority to take ownership of the properties at no cost for acquisition and convert them from being subsidized through a HUD-run initiative to transitioning us to be a private landlord model. This occurs by all the units now converting into being voucher funded versus just blanket funded through the government. The benefits are many, but allow me to highlight three. One, the units will be held for low to moderate income families in perpetuity for our community. Currently, there is always a risk that political will may dissolve or reduce HUD support, therefore leaving the asset to be sold to private developers or investors. With no new housing being built through public housing, if we lose the asset, we won't get it back. Two, the authority and its nonprofit development partner will take ownership of approximately $33 million worth of housing stock, which is what our housing stock is estimated at, allowing program income generated to be used to create additional affordable housing options in the community. And three, the tenants will have more flexibility in choosing where they live, work, play, and pray. In the current public housing model, it is not permissible for a tenant to transfer to another public housing community outside of Berks County unless they apply to another housing authority waitlist and take the chance that they'll be housed in a timely manner. Under the RAD conversion model, the tenant will be issued a voucher, and after 1 year, the tenant may request to become portable and move in any area in the United States and its territories that accepts vouchers. The purpose of RAD conversion allows housing authorities to leverage public and private debt equity to rehabilitate or replace older and distressed housing units while reducing costly administrative burdens on the authority. Although the RAD conversion may not be feasible for all housing authority models, BCHA is actively exploring the feasibility of our housing stock. BCHA is in the exploratory stage of seeking RAD conversion permission from HUD. We are told it could take up to 2 years to complete the process, and we are working with the consulting and interviewing other small housing authorities who have completed the process to weigh the benefit versus the burdens of transitioning. I will be sure to keep current tenants, the board of directors, staff, and the community informed every step of the way. It's my honor and privilege to support Berks County Housing Authority on behalf of the County of Berks. I encourage everyone to visit our website, berksha.org, for updates. And I want to thank you, commissioners, for the opportunity to come here today and report on BCHA. And I'd be happy to take a question if that's appropriate, if there's questions.
Thank you very much, Gwen. Any comments, questions from my colleagues?
Just want to thank Gwen and the Berks County Housing Authority for the work that they do. Right now, housing affordability is a bigger issue than ever. So I'm sure you have a lot going on and a lot on your plate. We've had this conversation before, but hopefully at some point we can get an agreement with the Reading Housing Authority to be able to port the Berks Housing Authority, which serves everything of the county outside of the city, and with the Reading Housing Authority, which serves just the city of Reading right now, like it's done in the Lehigh Valley, where the city and the county vouchers can be used interchangeably. That can't be done here in Berks. So hopefully that's something that the Reading Housing Authority would look at favorably to have some type of agreement here in Berks County as well for the benefit of all of our residents. And also I want to mention that Pam Mennett, our Director of Community Economic Development, is also on the board of the Berks County Housing Authority. And that's great because Pam is heading our housing initiative for the county. And doing that, it's very opportune that she could be on the Berks County Housing Authority board to make sure that the work there is being aligned with the work that we're doing throughout the county. So thank you, Pam, as well for your work to the board. And thank you, Gwen, for the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, thank you. You talked about fair market rental going up significantly. What is the fair market rental for Berks County?
So you'll have, if I may point you to the website, because there's actually a chart that is published April 1st. We publish that, and that's what we go by. I can tell you I've not seen a jump this high in my career to go up to 175 per unit. But you're probably looking at a 1-bedroom maybe being somewhere around $1,200 a month, maybe upwards of that. So if I could direct you to the website and you can see for each unit where we fall with that.
And the website again is berksha.org.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Good question.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Gwen. Appreciate your leadership. And Pam, thank you for being part of that board.
Thanks so much.
Our second presentation is dealing with opioid settlement fund update. We have Jeff Allman here. He is the Berks Opioid Settlement Fund Coordinator, and appreciate you being here. Mike is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. For those of
Morning.
you
Good morning.
who don't know me, I'm Jeff Allman, the Berks County Opioid Funds Settlement Coordinator. I took over for Stan Papademetrio in June of 2025. To start off, Kathy's going to start us off, and then I'll pick up,
Okay.
I believe, on slide 6.
Kathy's online.
She is?
Yes, I am here, Commissioner. Thank
I'll
you.
give it,
Oh, I see you. Okay.
turn it over to Kathy, and I'll be back then.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. And
morning.
thank you for allowing us to be here, inviting us to be here to talk about and give the board an update on the opioid settlement funds. Next slide, please. So these funds were first awarded to Berks County in December of 2022. This is a unique and relatively new 2022, relatively new initiative that required us to develop policies and procedures specific to these funds. And what we're doing is, from the lessons that we're learning, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is we're developing the best practices for our opioid settlement funds. We're looking to put these lessons into operation. We have done that, and we know for this year we are on target, and Jeff will talk more about that. And we want to look towards the future and where we see us being able to grow with these funds. Next slide, please. So again, we did receive the first funds in December of 2022, and to their credit, even before the first check of opioid settlement funds was received by Berks County, the Berks County Board of Commissioners decided that they wanted a dedicated opioid settlement funds coordinator to help to manage these funds, help to think about what is different about this funding as compared to other funding that we get, help to think about, where is it that we do want to go with these. And so, as Jeff mentioned, Stan Papademetrio, who was the former executive director at the Council on Chemical Abuse, was our first opioid settlement funds coordinator stationed at the Council on Chemical Abuse. And Stan did an invaluable service for COCA, for the county, for the people here in the county. He helped to lay the groundwork for how these funds would be managed. He helped us to build a relationship with the PA Trust. Jeff will talk a little bit about that, with the PA Trust, who oversees these funds. And he helped us to be able to be on the right track to move forward. So I personally feel that I owe him a debt of gratitude, and he did a wonderful job for us, but decided that he really wanted to be retired. And so he did that. And we now are so lucky to have Jeff Allman on board as our coordinator. Jeff has been such a breath of fresh air. Not that Stan's not fresh air, he is too. But okay. But Jeff has been such a breath of fresh air. He is so excited to be working on this project. So excited to see, how we can move forward and the different things that we can do with this funding. Next. Oh no, not next slide. So that was one of the lessons that we learned. You can go back. Yeah. You can go back to the previous slide. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call for the next one. Back. I'm so sorry. Yeah. The other really vital lesson that we learned, and this was as the first funding was starting to come in, and we were beginning to look at how we would allocate this funding. What we learned is it's really important for us to identify and respond to what we call Berks County / COCA priorities in our community. Again, Jeff will talk more about this, but just if you don't know what I mean, think about the medicated assisted treatment program at Berks County Prison. Opioid settlement funds are the only reason that we were able to fund an expanded MAT, medicated assisted treatment program at the prison. And, at this point, we're talking about around an $800,000 a year price tag for that. It is a priority. And as well as the behavioral health counseling treatment at the prison is also a priority. So we believe that this really informs our process when we first identify COCA priorities. And then what we've done is we've developed a request for proposal process, which I'll talk about, not really in detail, but a little bit more detail in a second. But I want to talk about the coordination, monitoring, and transparency first. COCA's been managing drug and alcohol funds for Berks County for over 50 years. And so when these opioid settlement funds became available, we did approach the county commissioners with a plan, and they decided that they would contract with COCA to manage these funds. That being said, that's what we do. With these funds, we are closely connected to the county, and we meet with them. Jeff and I meet with COO Barnhart on a regular basis, at least once a month, and more than that if we need to. So we've been able to coordinate with the county as well as with the district attorney's office. COO Barnhart, when he sets up his monthly opioid settlement fund meetings, always invites DA Adams. DA Adams has his own funding to be able to manage. We don't manage the DA's funding. But one of the things that happens in those coordination meetings is that DA Adams can hear about what we are funding. We can hear about what he's been asked to fund, and we can make sure that there are no duplication in services or services that, are not really necessary for the county. And then the other thing that we do is we monitor all of our contracts, all of our programs out in the community are, including treatment, are by contract. And so we monitor each contract at least on a yearly basis. Yvonne Stroman, our community programs outreach coordinator, she does all of our monitoring, make sure that not just that they're not just that providers are in are following their contract, but we're looking for some quality things as well in terms of, the protocols that our providers are using. Are they evidence-based? Are they evidence-informed? So we do that again on an annual basis, more if necessary. And the other thing that has been very important to COCA and the county is transparency, so that if anyone wants to know how this money is being spent, how these decisions are being made, they can know that. We report out to SOS Berks, our county opioid coalition, on a regular basis. We attend those meetings. Jeff attends those meetings. We also report out on a regular basis to the Berks County Providers Association. Those are treatment and other drug and alcohol service providers. We do press releases when appropriate. We do presentations such as this whenever we're asked. And on the COCA website, there is a full page dedicated to opioid settlement funds, where people can go and look and see the programs that have been funded, see a brief explanation of those programs, see the amount of money. They can also see if we have a request for proposal in process. So we are very, very, transparency is very important to us, and we'll continue to do all of those things. Now, could I have the next slide, please? Thank you. This is just briefly our request for proposal process. Of course, we determine the availability of funds. COCO will issue a request for proposal out into the community, saying what we've done is we haven't made people do a specific format, but what we've done is said to them is to make sure that what they're applying for meets the requirements of the settlement funds. Again, Jeff can talk about what they are. We do get proposals, or we have gotten proposals that unfortunately, while they may be great ideas, they just didn't meet the requirements of opioid settlement funds money. But when we do issue them, then we will look to get the proposals. We've done it twice so far. We did it in 2023 and again in 2025. Once we have the proposals, Jeff and I will review those. Then we will send them to, we'll call out any of the ones that aren't, that don't meet requirements for OSF funds. And then send those to SOS Berks. There's an ad hoc committee from SOS Berks that helped us in 2025. We didn't have them help us in 2023, but it's something, again, a lesson learned, to have the community coalition look at these and provide some recommendations as well. And then we meet with COO Barnhart and go through everything and make sure that from the county perspective, what we're recommending is in line. And then I take those to the COCA Board of Directors for either their approval or their decline. So we have a really good process in place. Easy to see how the decisions are being made. At this time, we don't have another request for proposal ready to be released. And Jeff will talk about that. We may be doing it depending upon, what happens in the future and what funds are available. We may be doing another RFP at the end of this year, the beginning of next year. Next slide, please. So again, our current practices really do reflect lessons learned using our opioid settlement funds coordinator to be our liaison between the county and the PA Trust, having our request for proposals process also go through a community coalition. And we're really looking towards the future. Again, one of the things that Jeff was real excited about when he came on is possibly the opportunity, or not possibly, it's happening, and he'll talk about it, the opportunity to expand our monitoring and move into a place where we can call it evaluation. And again, we're not going to be able to next year. We're going to be here, but and we'll probably have a preliminary evaluation ready for you. It won't answer the question, how many people did you cure today? But it will allow us to begin to revise our processes and get closer to being able to answer that question. So if no one has any questions for me right now, I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff Allman for him to give us some details about what's happening with this funding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Kathy, for that setup here. Just referring back to the transparency, as Kathy mentioned, Laura and I, a member of COCA, update the website pretty much every 6 months with all the financials of what's being spent, what has been spent, what's projected to be spent, as well as a synopsis of each of the programs. And for those who may not know, Penn State, and I'll get into this, when we do our reports, Penn State compiles that, and they now have a website that shows all of the reports for all of the counties for all of Pennsylvania. So there again is transparency. Anybody can look as to what each county has spent. And it also is helpful to me to look to what other counties are doing when we're making proposals for new programs. So if I could have the next slide, please. Okay. What we're going to start with is the settlement agreement, the opioid settlement agreement, identifies strategies approved for the use of settlement funds in what's called Exhibit E. And Exhibit E is basically 15 pages of is the guiding document that outlines and details allowable uses of the opioid settlement funds with numerous categories and subcategories. Exhibit E is a full 15 pages and gives us the roadmap for sorting through approved uses, as well as preparing documentation for the trust for the purposes of requesting approved programs through the semi-annual reporting process. Regarding a simple outline of those uses, first we have treatment. Funds for treatment are for those with OUD, opiate use disorder, and or a co-occurring mental health and SUD, substance use disorder. Prioritizing Medicaid assisted treatment, MAT, recovery support, and connecting people to treatment. Second, we have prevention. Prevention, which consists of various in-house programs as well as programs coordinated with outside agencies, focused on preventing misuse, harm reduction, and overall community education. Other strategies which consist of training, research, and community leadership. An excellent example of this category is our own SOS Berks Coalition. This consists of numerous subcommittees focused on community outreach, including 2 magazines, Apollo and their response. Could I have the next slide, please? The Pennsylvania Opioid Abatement Trust. That's what was created to oversee all of these funds. In short, the Opioids Trust Fund was created to being responsible to manage the opioid settlement, receive and maintain and disperse funds, review annual reports, and ensure compliance with terms of settlement. The reports referred to in this slide are our biannual reports, which A, report funds spent in the previous 6 months, as well as B, formally present documentation supporting our request for new programs. Referring to ensure, this brings us back to Exhibit E. Everything must follow and live within the Exhibit E roadmap and guidelines. That is what is referred to as ensuring compliance with terms of settlement. Thus far, we've had 5 reporting periods, the most recent being submitted by March 16th of this year. Up to this point, we have had few requests for further information. Additionally, all of our programs submitted this far have been accepted. And now we'll move on to the money portion of everything. If no one has any questions prior to that. I've done that. Okay, thank you. So in total, the total current projected amount, what we've received and what we expect to receive as of this moment is $24,988,121. And that's being given to us over an 18-year period. We have 13 years remaining of that. Let's see. And that does not include the DA subdivision disbursements. That's separate. And also this year, the Purdue Sackler, if anyone's heard of Purdue Sackler, yep. And there's also what's called 6 remnant defendants. Right. That is another fund that we're going to be receiving.
Those are not included in
those here. Are not included here because we don't know what they're going to be yet. We're expected, they're in the process, and we're expected to possibly get something this year, if not beginning of 2027. Next slide, please. So here we have the graph of the 18 years. And to break this down, of the approximately 25 million over the 18-year lifespan, the breakdown is as follows. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible because we could really get into the weeds here, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for you. And if you have any questions, let's see. So the total received 2020 through 2024 has been $6,695,814. Of the approximately $6,700 received from the Walmart settlement portion of that, we have set aside for Berks County Jail System approximately $1.5 million, $1,467,854, and that remains on hand with an expiration for those funds of June 15th, 2028. The reasons for this set aside is with Berks County Jail System being our highest funded program and Walmart monies having a 42-month lifespan, with the majority of other disbursements having an 18-month lifespan. Received in 2025, we have a total of $1,986,449, all of which we still have on hand at this moment. To break that down, approximately $1,850,000 was our base disbursement with an expiration of June 15th, 27. We had a small additional Walmart monies of $7,666 with a June 15th, 29 expiration. And then we had a surprise settlement, which is always welcomed, referred to as the McKinsey settlement. And that's $129,739 with no expiration, which is wonderful that we don't have to worry about that. So that leaves us, let's see, that leaves us with, I had it somewhere. A total, so the total 2020 through 2025 was $8,682,263, with an estimated future disbursements remaining are currently $16,305,858 as 2026 to 2038, and that gets us to our total of the approximately 25 million. So here we go. So with the Berks County Jail System reserve and the 2025 income, that gives us approximately $3.5 million, $3,454,303 on hand. Currently, our annual budget is approximately $2,250,000. A large portion of that being used within the Berks County Jail System, as we previously discussed, for the MAT programming and counseling support, as well as our Berks County Treatment Courthouse that supports the Berks County Treatment Court system and gives us a recovery house for those folks going through there to help them maintain a recovery, good recovery prospects. And this is reviewed annually between Kevin, the commissioners, Kathy, and myself. The next review will take place sometime in May, June, as we work towards finalizing this year's numbers and review the potential ongoing needs for next year. Again, none of this includes the Purdue Sackler or the other settlements. A lot of numbers. And is there anything I could make any clarity?
Can I just ask a quick question on the graph? So the red dots are
Yes.
money received and spent.
Yes.
Green dots are money to be spent.
Yes.
And then the black dots are projected amounts. Oh,
Correct. That is correct. Thanks
Thank
for pointing that out. Yes. There's the portion of the first green dot, the 4 million and some, that's the what's left over from the jail settlement, left over from the Walmart set aside. That's basically 1,500,000 is left over from that year. The second green dot is all of 2025.
Thank you.
Okay, we got through that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, that was just the money portion. I was just grateful to get through the money portion because I wanted to make sure I kind of spelled it out pretty good.
Okay,
Next slide, please.
go ahead.
And I'll try and keep it short for you to finish up. As we review available funding, we would begin what we consider Coca County priorities, and then as funding allows, prioritize community needs for the remaining funding. What we try to do, we have about 20 programs overall, and we consider a portion of them, 8 of them, county priorities, Coca County priorities. The jail program, treatment court, detox, inpatient, outpatient, workforce development, and the remainder are for community needs. And let's see. If anybody has any questions about that, we have about 20 programs total, and that's what our total budget is for the $2,250,000. Next slide, please. And to just wrap it up for you, what is next? Ongoing evaluations, as Kathy talked about, we're trying to keep the ongoing evaluations. And personally, I'm excited about our review and eval process that we're developing. First of all, to see how we're doing through the providers, as well as with individuals receiving service. Additionally, what we can learn from the information provided. And of course, there are areas where we can improve. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time and wishing everyone a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can see if you need more information, there are two different, website and an email on the screen.
Absolutely. If anybody would like information on the opioid settlement fund as a whole, I have handouts that I could mail to folks, and then a roadmap for any of this information. I could be happy to get it to you as well.
Thank you. And thanks to
Thank
Kathy.
Thank you.
Still on.
Commissioner Linebacker.
Thank you.
Thank
Before
you.
we move on, I do have one note. I missed that we had an executive session on April the 9th dealing with litigation and personnel. Thank you for noting that.
Commissioner Linebacker.
Yes,
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, there was a lot of names thrown around by Kathy and Jeff this morning, but we couldn't do any of this without Cody Kaufman, our first assistant county solicitor.
good point.
He's an amazing legal expert on Exhibit E and really helps us. And he's kind of our stage crew when it comes to making sure we're conforming to all the rules and regulations of the trust. So again, we couldn't do this without Cody.
100%. Thank you for bringing
I
it.
agree. And Cody has written, he did it a few years ago, a definitive article on Exhibit E, and you can find that in our response magazine on the website. I mean, it's a very good article, and we really will come away with an understanding of Exhibit E. Thank you for mentioning that. Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I would like a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I will second that.
The motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion is carried. We'll move to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our treasurer, Mitch Darcourt, with the treasurer's report. Mitch.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today, we have an opening balance of $214,819,880.22. We have a balance to clear of $9,810,611.11, leaving us with a balance of $205,009,269.11. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now for the controller's report, Joe Ruddero. Joe.
Thank you.
Try that again.
Take two. Thank you, Chairman Lineback. For the week ending April 17th, 2026, we have an accounts payable and total cash disbursement of $10,205,445.67. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chief Operations Officer Kevin Barnhart.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebacker. I know the board has presented and approved the agenda, but I wanted to highlight some special acknowledgements and celebrate the return of Justin Luce to our IS department as Chief Information Security Officer. He had spent 15 years here with the county, and we're celebrating his return, and he will do nothing more extremely with strengthening our IS security, which is a really, really critical component of our system. With everything that's going out in the technology world, we need somebody with his acumen and experience to lead us into having the most secure and robust system we possibly can. And under the promotion of Lori Schneider and Jessica Submet in the assessment office, this is really part of our ongoing effort, which is encouraged by the Board of Commissioners to have deputies in all of our departments. So we have succession planning in place. We have one more department that will be here probably in the next month or two, and now pretty much have every department that's under our responsibility and the board to have deputies or assistants supporting those directors of those various departments. So thank you for your support on deputies as well as succession planning, and for bringing Justin Luce back. Appreciate it very much.
You're
Thank
very welcome, and we're glad to see him back as well. Reports of commissioners. We'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Lineback. A few items here. This past few days, Monday through Wednesday, all three of us were in Washington, D.C. for congressional visits. We were able to meet with Senator Fetterman's staff, with Senator McCormick and his staff. with Congressman Muser and his staff, with Congressman Congresswoman Houlihan's staff, and Congresswoman Dean and her staff as well. And this was in reference to mostly congressionally directed spending and community project funding requests. We had two primary requests that we went in with, and one was the wastewater treatment plant, and the other was funding for the youth detention center. Of those, we did get positive feedback from all of our members of Congress that we spoke with. Senator McCormick will be putting forward both the wastewater treatment plant and the YDC funding in his earmarks. Congresswoman Dean has already put forward the wastewater treatment plant for her, so we thank them for that, and we thank all of them for the support that they will be providing for both of these requests that we had. So it's a really great meeting that we had with them, and actually ran into someone else from Berks County while we were there as well. Tonight, I will be attending the Albright College Shine Bright Gala, which is an event there to celebrate the accomplishments of Albright. Also tomorrow, I will be at the Lifeline of Berks County campaign kickoff and home reveal. Lifeline of Berks County is moving to a new location, so I will be there to celebrate with them. And then on Tuesday, I will be at the Habitat for Humanity Birdhouse Challenge. And one last item, as you all know, Warden Smith is leaving for the Lehigh Valley. So I want to thank the warden for his time and commitment to Berks County. I want to wish him the best in Lehigh. He's been a great asset here in Berks County. There's actually front page of the Reading Eagle. Is that today or yesterday?
Today.
Today. So he's on the front page of the Berks Reading Eagle.
Second page, yeah.
So,
Is it yesterday?
yesterday. It's in the paper in these days recently. I know I saw him. The days just running into each other.
Yeah.
So thank you to the Eagle for putting that there, and thank you for the warden for the work he has done here in Berks County, for his commitment to the Berks County Jail and the inmates there. So I wish him the best in Lehigh County. And also, we have an election board meeting today at 11. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. We'll move now to Commissioner Dante Santoni.
Just a couple, quick things, Mr. Chairman, just to follow up on Commissioner Rivera's comments about our trip to DC. I too thought it was a great trip. We met a lot of our staffers and representatives and senators that represent us here in Berks County, and it went really well. I'm going to give a special shout out to our Deputy COO, Larry Medaglia, who accompanied us and really was the leader in providing the information that they all needed and requested. So I want to just give a little shout out to good old Larry. Good young Larry.
Good old Larry, okay.
Good young Larry.
Drove us safely.
The commissioners attended a breakfast this morning, the Impacts Award breakfast hosted by Connections Work, and they gave out a whole number of I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I do want to give one person a specific shout out, Dan Fogarty, who was our Director of Workforce Development and Chief Operating Officer for Berks County Workforce. He received the Life Improvement Ambassador Award for his work. So I wanted to give a shout out to Dan. Another shout out to our president of our Reading Area Community College, Dr. Susan Looney, who was selected for a national award, National President of the Year. I believe, is that the title that she received?
Yep.
I know she was nominated and she received as the top CEO of community colleges for the nation. So congratulations to Dr. Looney. We know how great she is, and now the rest of the country does as well. A couple other events. This Saturday, Earth Day, City Park, there's going to be events there from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Encourage everyone to attend. I too want to wish Warden Smith the best. I know it's bittersweet to say goodbye. He was such a great warden, but what's best for him, I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more. His last day is May the 8th. So hopefully we can talk a little bit more. Maybe we can even have him in here for something. The 20th anniversary, this is a sort of a conflict with the Habitat event, is the 20th anniversary of the Rolf D. Schmidt the Rolf D. Schmidt Center at Reading Area Community College. I can't believe it's already 20 years, but they're celebrating the 20th anniversary on Tuesday, April the 21st. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Want to quick share my screen. And Dr. Looney, the award, this is from Community College Daily, and they recognize her right at the top of the article of all the awards. But the actual award, let's see here. It's CEO of the year. Oh, here it is. Susan Looney, president of Reading Area Community College, was a high school dropout who later attended community college. On Monday, she was honored as CEO of the year for leading transformative work at her college, which has raised the graduation rate from 8% to 32% in 8 years. Dr. Looney is amazing. And now nationally recognized for the work that she's done here in Berks County. In addition, if I'm able to, I hate when this thing does that. Well, I'll do the stop sharing there. In addition, I will share, see if I got this. No, I won't. One more time. There it is. So recently, this would be last Friday, I was at the East Penn Manufacturing ribbon cutting. This is with Steve Walson, the head of Walson Construction Group, and Christy Weber, who is the president of East Penn Manufacturing. Also, we're able to speak with Matt on your right and Dan on your left. They are grandsons of Delight Bridingham. Both of them work at East Penn Manufacturing, are working up through the structure. Matt on the right is actually based now in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and is working through their relatively newly acquired lithium battery plant. And one of his main jobs is to build the culture that has been built here in Berks County. It's really great to spend some time with them. Last Thursday evening, we had America 250 PA come to the Fightin' Phils. It was another cold night, kind of hard to remember that it was cold after the warmth we've had this week. Matt Dara was speaking on behalf of America 250 PA. Afterwards, we got a picture with Casey Elliott. She's a communications director from America 250 PA. Matt Darrow, yours truly, and Maricela Fuster from First Energy. First Energy funded the cost of the bell, which was $10,000. On Saturday evening, I was at the Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles for the annual Boyertown Citizen of the Year Award. Some of the people here, this is Mayor Lori Carnes. This was the first responder of the year, Jared Miller. Senator Tracy Pennycook. Try to get all these names right. I know I'm going to mess a couple up. Keith Sewell, they were the special organization recognition, and that was the General Carl Spots Museum in Boyertown. Janie McHugh was Citizen of the Year. Chapin is her last name, and I'm drawing a blank on her first name. And then Jeff Bruner was Mentor of the Year. She was High School Student of the Year, and Jeff Bruner was Mentor of the Year. A really impressive group of folks that were recognized, and I was proud to be able to be part of that. And then I added a quick photo from this morning. All three of us, along with our EAs, were at Connections Work Annual Awards Breakfast. These are the co-CEOs, Nikki Schnabel and Peggy Kirshner. As always, great event. And I believe, let me just check my notes. On Friday at lunch, Veronica and I were able to attend the Kutztown University inaugural luncheon for the inauguration of Dr. Philip Cavalier, the newest president of Kutztown University. So we were glad to be able to be part of that. That is all that I have. Any row officer comments?
I do not have anything.
Nothing to offer, thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our published agenda.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second,
The meeting is adjourned and we'll start elections in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Thank you.